so bright and chipper.
I know. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Good area.
I'm glowing. I'm glowing.
I can tell
You
you're
are
glowing.
glowing, actually.
I'm
It's
glowing.
the beach, both.
Yeah, we're not happy
Very
with you
nice.
guys.
Tan,
We got a little color, didn't we,
very
John?
happy.
He's hiding under all his Glenwood stuff.
I told him he'd call.
Camera's running.
I'm unable to take your call. Please leave your name and number.
Longest pause. I told you, this is the longest pause before.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, Brett, if you get this, call back on this number.
What I can see is somebody that had to find glasses to figure out which button to push.
Now the goal is to vote as quick as possible. And
All right, well, 6 p.m., we'll call this regular board meeting to order. If you'd all please join me in a moment of silence. And the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Clerk, would you take the roll?
Trustee Nice.
Here.
Trustee Try. Trustee Ferguson.
Present.
Trustee Charo.
Present.
Trustee Gerger. Trustee Fletcher.
Present.
Village President Kimsey.
Present. There's your ding. Are there any public announcements this evening?
So we have one from Les Morgan with the Chatham American Legion.
Stuck.
it was Foley. He's watching.
There are 2 more fish fries remaining in the Lent season. Each Friday, it's this coming Friday, and then the last is Good Friday, April 7th. And then the other is the memorial brick applications are due for the Veterans Memorial Square on April the 15th, and bricks are $50 each.
April 15th.
Yes.
Tax day.
The memorial brick applications are due for the Veterans Memorial. So you can purchase a brick for $50.
Okay.
Any additional? Any public comments on our agenda topics? Hearing none, no old business. Item 1 under new business is a resolution establishing the sewer rates for the village. Motion to bring this to the floor.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Nice made a motion, second by Trustee Charo. This is what was covered with our pass-through from the sanitary district at our committee. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
For the press, that's a 27-cent increase for the monthly service charge and an 18-cent increase per thousand.
Thank you, press. Direct pass-through.
Direct pass-through.
Item 2 is an ordinance approving the retention of sickage to conduct financial audits of the village for the fiscal years ending April of '23 through April of 2025. Motion to bring this to the floor.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Charles made a motion, second by Trustee Fletcher. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk.
Trustee Nice.
I will vote yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Absolutely.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Item 3 is a resolution approving an emergency operations plan for the village of Chatham. Could I have a motion to bring this to the floor?
I'll bring this to the floor.
Trustee Ferguson's made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Trustee
After
Nice.
last week's presentation, I absolutely second it. 2 weeks ago. I already feel safe.
Given the thorough presentation, is there any other discussion? Questions? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk?
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Positive.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Item 4 is a resolution accepting Accepting the resignation of Bruce Thompson from the Police Pension Board and appointing Tim Welch to that position.
I'll make a motion.
Trustee Ferguson made a motion, second by Trustee Fletcher. Any discussion? Mr. Clerk?
Trustee Fletcher.
Affirmative.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Majority. Okay. Item 5 is an ordinance accepting a bid for Plummer Boulevard patching in the Village of Chatham. This is, well, Jim's here, he can answer the questions. Got a motion to bring this to the floor?
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Charles made a motion, second by
I'll second.
Trustee Ferguson. $203,407.82, with the option to extend the contract work up to our appropriated amount of $300,000, which Jim wrote into the budget with the anticipation that for once we would get a bid that came in under estimates, that we did. And so now we're able to extend how much work we're able to get under the same contract price.
I assume the resolutions to mean we're going to do as much work as we possibly can, is my guess, right?
So what we're going to do is, the patching is in advance of the functional overlay that we're going to do on Plummer Boulevard. So there's Rebuild Illinois funds that we're going to apply to doing a major overlay job on Plummer Boulevard. The patching is in advance of that overlay job to get everything up to snuff. Then we'll pave Plummer Boulevard. Plummer Boulevard will be paved from Ptarmigan all the way over to Ravenna Drive. Okay, so that's what's in the functional overlay. Now, the patching that we have in here, based on preliminary estimates, was to take it from Plummer Boulevard, or Ptarmigan, all the way over to North Park. Now, that accomplishes that at the $203,407.82. So we did contact PH Broughton, asked them if they were interested in doing that work. However, we would like to do that portion of the work after school gets out, because that's all a 2-lane section there, as opposed to the remainder of it being essentially a 3-lane section or a 5-lane section. So easier for traffic control after school. They're looking at that and seeing how their schedule works out to do that, but that is the plan at this point. So we'd like to award the project at $203,407.82, with the option to go up to the $300,000 that was appropriated.
That's great.
Anything further? Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Item 6 is an ordinance accepting a bid for bike trail improvements and patching. I have a motion to bring this to the floor. Trustee Fletcher has made a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Second by Trustee Nice. This is, Jim, describe this one.
Okay, so this is patching, and originally we were going to set this at the $30,000 limit for the park grant money that would be applied to this. Now, the difference between that and the pricing on that we received on this was more related to the fact that the previous jobs that we've done, the village has provided a majority of the labor and equipment for those, and just left the concrete material and then the pouring of the concrete for the patching. At this point, street superintendent wanted everything to be a turnkey operation. So from the time that we originally budgeted this to the time that we took bids and received this, that had kind of changed. So we looked at this cost, also associated with funding available for park improvements, bike path, which is the next bid that we're going to talk about. Combined, the funds are available to do both projects. So the overages on this one would be absorbed by the underages and balance on the next project. So based on talking with the contractor, the way that this would work, we're comfortable with the bidding and the prices received for this project, and make a recommendation for approval of this award.
Further discussions or questions?
I'm assuming they're going to do it all at kind of one shot, aren't they?
This is on the bike trail on the interurban north of Walnut. So what we're going to do is do some patching on areas where tree roots have heaved the pavement, or the pavement's falling apart and collapsing on the side. There's been a lot of complaints with some of the bikers that ride high speed on that trail, and there's been some accidents on there as a result of, poor pavement conditions. So we're addressing the worst parts. We did a section last year, continuing it this year. We'll continue another section next year and kind of work our way out of the furthest end points and then ultimately overlay the entire thing.
So how many miles of bike path do we have?
Wait, what?
How many miles of bike path do we have?
5?
Yeah, it probably is close to 5. It's the back fence, it's the very northern point of Piper Glen Golf Course, hole number 2,
Southern.
up by the green, Hole number 2 up by the tee box, or the green.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it runs all the way down to, no, it goes all the way down to our new railroad crossing at Goldenrod.
Yeah, here to Walnut, picks up on the street, and then the rest of the
How
way.
much will this patch?
This is a smaller portion on the older part of the trail. So it's isolated locations, so it's not,
Not all together.
no.
Okay.
And it's
There's some
not the
really
easy
bad
portion to
stretches
get to.
from Plummer Boulevard to Piper Glen where trucks have, that have been doing tree trimming along the power lines out there have really messed it up. So this will raise the elevation in that area and keep water off of it. And it appears that that piece of property may be sold and something might be built on it. So that is going to stop the access to the bike path from that area. They kind of just come out and go and do it, and they don't ask anybody, and it's not our crews, it's crews in Springfield, so.
So as we work with Austin, the intent is, okay, let's take the 1,000 that we have every year, apply it to it, and just kind of keep chipping away at it, as opposed to, well, let's wait till we have enough money to do all of it at one time. So it's just realizing that that's probably never going to happen. So as long as we keep addressing this and keep patching, and then once the patching is done, then we'll do it all the way out.
We got a lot of good feedback on the concrete part, so we may have to think twice on resurfacing the whole thing, just leave it concrete.
I'm assuming PH Broughton's going to come out here, start here, and then move to the other portion of the bike path. It's not going to be two separate to them. They're going to come out here. It is two separate
Two
projects.
separate projects, two separate materials. So concrete can go now, the asphalt plants aren't open yet. So
Got it.
The work that's being done in South Park, which would be the next contract, that's asphalt, all asphalt.
Got it. So they'll, okay.
What's being done on this project is concrete. Now, we'll work with them in terms of, funding, expiration. There's two things going on with the funding. First is, the park grant expires at the end of the fiscal year, so we want to get that in and done and that money allocated for that. And then also working with Kayla, the ARPA money that we're applying to the plumber patching has a single year mandate of, I think, $750,000. At that point, then there's additional federal government reporting regulations. So we're trying to keep that number, below that.
Got it.
And the more that we can get done before the end of our fiscal year on plumber allows us to do more after May 1st.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Clerk?
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Item 7 is an ordinance approving a bid for bike path improvements as well.
Would you like to stand up again, Jim?
I think we.
Can I get a motion here?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Charles made a motion, second by Trustee Fletcher. Go ahead, Jim, one more time.
Okay, so this one is in South Park. We're expanding the parking lot. As part of expanding the parking lot, we're relocating a portion of the existing bike trail on the far east side. That new bike trail will be paved under this contract. And then additionally, the area in front of the concession stands all the way to the west, to where it turns into like a concrete pad going over the drainage features there. That will all have a new overlay. So that's what this project will consist of.
Awesome.
Further questions or discussion? Mr. Clerk?
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher. Yes. Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
And can I have a motion to bring the consent agenda to the table?
I'll make the motion. I have a question about it, though.
Hold on. Trustee Ferguson's made a motion, second by trustee Nice. Discussion on the warrants or the minutes.
Sorry for jumping the gun there. What is the down payment for the replacement of yard signs? What yards, there's some sort of ACE sign down payment for replacement of yard signs? I'm just curious what it is.
It's not yard signs, it's welcome to Chatham signs.
Okay, it's described as yard signs, and I'm thinking, what yard signs are we talking about here? It's the welcome to Chatham signs on,
We're gonna,
Molly
The
gave you
description off
signs.
there.
we're getting a new one for Route 4,
okay?
a brand new one for Gordon Drive, and a brand new one for Chatham Road out by the middle school ball diamonds.
Perfect. Sorry, it was described as yard signs, and I'm thinking,
We've been
what are we
working on that
doing yard
project
signs
forever.
with?
So
But we've got okay from we're putting signs up on property that is not ours. But it's in our Chatham limits, so
Good.
we have to get the okay from the county in 2 locations, and the one is on private property, so they're fine with replacing the one that's there, so.
do you have pictures of the signs to show everyone?
I do have it in my computer that's in there, but I don't have it on this one right now.
Can you email them out to us?
Sure. Yeah. All right. Further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk?
Trustee Nice.
Yes.
Trustee Ferguson.
Yes.
Trustee Charo.
Yes.
Trustee Fletcher.
Yes.
Are there any public comments on any village business at this time?
I think Mr. Shad here is to talk to you.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Hey, thanks for calling me yesterday.
Sure.
I called Pat on Friday. He finally called me back yesterday and suggested I'd be here tonight. My name is Pat Shad, for any of you that don't know me. I'm representing the American Legion tonight. As you know, or may not know, we sponsored the homecoming for something like 73 years. Our last one was 2019, and then COVID stopped it. We want to bring something back. It's not a homecoming reboot. We're not going to have beer. We're not going to have bands. We're not going to have a big top tent. We're just going to have carnival. And we may have some food vendors, but our focus is a family event. And we don't have the numbers of people that we have volunteering anymore, so we're trying to keep it as simple as possible and keep our costs down. So we're talking about the weekend of the 25th, 26th, 27th of May, prior to Memorial Day. And we need use of the square. Whatever we put on it, I don't know yet, but particularly the streets for the carnival. So we appreciate your support for a resolution in a couple of weeks so we can proceed with their contract with the carnival people, because they've told them that, you know, we need village approval first, otherwise we're wasting our time, so.
So May 25th?
25th, 6th, and
27th.
7th. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The plan, from what I understand, is Thursday will be an evening thing like the homecoming always was, same for Friday. Saturday will be all day. We're going to try for the dollar ride nights on Thursday again, because that was very popular when we had that. And then food, I don't know yet. We're going to look for vendors, but I don't know. To me, it's getting kind of late, but who knows? But from what I understand, we're going to require the vendors to supply their own power. I don't know how that will work yet. We may have to put up a pedestal. I don't know yet. But right now, that's what we're looking at, is carnival rides and food. And that's it. So,
Are you going to use the same carnival people you normally use?
pardon me?
Are you going to use the same carnival vendor that you normally do?
I think that's what we're trying to do. I think their name is Conway.
Okay.
And that's my understanding, is that they've already made a commitment, but we haven't signed a contract. So, you know, that's my understanding. So, yeah. So the weather will be good for us and give us another event to make some money. So
So your question,
bring something back for the village, because homecoming was a big deal for us. 73 years is a long time for that event. But we just, like I said, we're all getting older. I'll be 73, thank you. One in a couple of months. And I mean, I'm one of the young guys. So when the personnel just isn't there, I mean, it wasn't for the JCs running our kitchen for us the last few years on the square for the homecoming, we wouldn't be able to run our kitchen. So we're not gonna do the kitchen, we're not gonna do any cooking.
Do you get a percentage of what they make off of what their tickets?
Yeah, we've always gotten a
For
percentage.
food and for rides, or just,
I think it's for both, yeah. I always thought it was just for rides, but somebody told me tonight it's for food and rides. So yeah, the idea is to minimize our overhead as much as possible and our need for men to work and just give us our percentage, please. And,
We'll give you the place and you give us the money, right?
pardon me?
We'll give you the place, you give us the money, right? We'll give you the place, the location, and they give you the money.
We don't get, it's not like
Right.
50 by a long shot, but
Yeah.
we make some money. And it'll help us. Because that was our biggest fundraiser for many, many years. But then things started to decline, I'd say 20-something. In the last few years, we really struggled. I mean, I think one year we made like $100. I'm not shitting you.
Now we have to take this video down.
And then I remember the first year we went out to the,
Need a 3-second delay.
out to the new park. And I was a finance officer. I'm the acting finance officer now, by the way, because our finance officer got deployed. So they called me and said, we need a finance guy. All right, I'll do it. So we went out to that new park out there. And it rained for 3 days. And the mud was this deep. I think we lost 10 grand that year. So, but we've had some really good years too.
So your request, just so we got it right, your request to the board is to be able to close the 3 streets around the squares.
Streets, and let us use the square, yeah. So, just like it's always been, yeah.
Okay.
So, that's it. Sorry, I get to talking.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
I'll be back in a couple of weeks then, or do I need to be here or what?
well, if they give me the okay, we'll have the attorneys draw up an ordinance and
The resolution?
a resolution. And
I have the application.
in 2 weeks,
Special,
they would vote on it.
special event.
When they bring those carnival rides in and set them up on the streets, do they anchor into the street, or is it all?
Yeah.
So they,
I don't know if they drive spikes, but, I mean, I don't know. I don't.
because that would be a question for us as we write through this thing, that if,
They knock
that if-
spikes in the street?
yeah, if they're gonna knock holes into our street,
Yeah, I don't know.
into our street, can you find that out for us and find out what the restoration is?
All I've ever seen them do is set them up on blocks. I don't recall any spikes, but I'll ask.
Yeah, because we certainly, we've been working hard on our streets and,
Okay, I'll ask.
all right.
Anything else?
Anything else, Sam? All right, thanks.
All right. Well,
Thanks,
thank
Pat.
you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll let you know.
And because Jim felt like he wanted a second committee meeting,
Yes.
he also has public
I
comment.
missed it, yeah.
So what I handed out is the maintenance resolution that you should each have in front of you. And what this is, just kind of a sneak peek, we'll bring it to the next meeting for review and approval. And basically, these are the activities that the village street crew will be doing in-house for just general maintenance items. We'll have specific projects that'll be another maintenance resolution type project, but this is the snow plowing, the salt, the minor patching of roads. This is going to be the major patching of roads that we're looking at doing on Spruce this year. Miscellaneous drainage repairs. None of these really have a targeted location, just kind of a funding available through MFT to repair things as needed throughout the year for the village. So oil and chip, like I said, salt, tree trimming, just roadside maintenance activities, that kind of stuff. So the big specific project out of this will be major patching along Spruce. So
Question, since you brought up the snow removal and the salt,
yes.
did we save money as a village this year because of the lack of snow?
So
We had no overtime for plowing for the first time. Barry's been here at least 20 years, and he said he has never gone a winter without having to plow a street at least one time.
Does salt last?
yeah, so
salt we
we're
just-
buying less salt this year because we didn't use any last year. So
I mean, I think I'm disappointed. I'd like to have seen snow, but that's going to be great for our roads and for the fact that our bottom line because we didn't have that expense.
No major repairs to trucks from,
Yeah.
you know, the constant beating of,
Except we're gonna have bugs now.
Now that you brought it up, we're due for a blizzard in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Could happen.
We're all gonna
Well,
call
one
you.
blizzard versus 4 million is pretty good.
So this, if you don't recall, we go through this every year because the motor fuel tax is a state funding. You have to run through the checklist of that, submit your estimate of what the costs are, what you're gonna do on contracts, what you're gonna do with your own material purchase and your own staff work. Pass that as a resolution, submit it to the state through IDOT for IDOT approval, and then have the ability to access and utilize the funds on those road projects.
And does that usually pass the state pretty easily?
Yeah, no problem.
Only if Jim's done his stuff right.
Well, Jim, of course, it's Jim.
And you have money, so as long as it covers the account, so.
Sure.
We're good on that.
I'm guessing they're gonna double check that.
We will. We'll run it by Kayla. see what
We'll
she
appreciate
says.
it.
So, but, you'll see this one come through and probably also a, material letting for the, concrete, purchase of concrete, under this as well, so. That's what we're gonna be looking at.
You got anything else for us, Jim? I think we should just give you a stage tonight. You're doing a good job for us.
I don't know, we can dig up.
Have you find anybody to take all of our dirt yet?
Yeah.
No,
I'm joking.
No.
That was a bad joke.
we all eat a spoonful of it every day.
Whoa, look at
Oh,
that.
no, I was gonna
I think your 5 minutes is up.
Can we dump in our yard instead of eating it?
You can.
Do what
Okay.
you would like.
Everybody come get a scoop.
A 5-gallon bucket a day.
We'll bring it to Springfield, dump it up.
Next scheduled meeting is 6 p.m. Next scheduled meeting is 6 p.m. on
Jim.
April 11th. We have no need for a closed session, and with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Ferguson's made a motion, second by
Second.
Trustee Charo. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Get out and vote.
Meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.
Ding
Yes,
dong.
get out and